Welcome to another video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. So they were pretty mad today. Okay, particularly this afternoon. After I picked up Ethan from school, took him to get a haircut, pick up his sister. Of course, the bus took a long time to come, right? And again, because of retaliation. So when we got to the bus up around 3:50. The bus didn't come until 3:45. Got to the bus at 3:45. The bus didn't come until uh, after 4:20 because it said 20 minutes. So yeah, about 4:20 or so. 4:20 or so the bus came, and then I had to go pick up Alyssa, of course, and then took Ethan to get a haircut. So we come out of the barber shop. There's a woman waiting, and she comes out of we talk about synchronization. So as soon as we came out of the barber shop, she came out of the Boys and Girls Club. Okay, and she's targeting me, and I noticed because I can tell by the synchronization and how she was walking. So we got to, we started walking. All of a sudden, she takes out her phone, and as she takes out her phone, at the same time, Pam calls me. Okay, I mean, I didn't know who called me at the time because, I had my daughter's book bag, I had my cane, I had her on one side, so I didn't really look to see who it was. But I figured that it was probably her, and I figured they were using the technology to get her to call me at that particular time while they're engaging in the synchronization and stuff like that, right? So I didn't answer. We walked past the gas station. There was a gray car that pulled out in front. Again, it's all synchronization using those colors. And then afterwards, you had some kids, high school kids, or even junior high school kids, um, you know, basically they have like a smile on their face, right? Because I didn't answer the phone. It's a game that they play. It doesn't mean anything. To them it does, because to them they think that because I noticed the synchronization that I won't answer the phone for whatever reason. But I ain't really paid that shit any mind or have you. Um, but again, trying to send subliminal message about the kids, and I guess Pam, like I said to her, I said, look, get some. Okay, let me finish, right? So anyway, so we're walking. Then then there's a guy across the street. He takes out his phone, start looking at it. As we cross the street, walking, there's a woman, black woman with her daughter walking, and she's looking at me like smiling, and I'm looking at her like, you know. So at that time, I get ready to cross the street. The white guy with the beard, he had two dogs. Another white guy walking, trying to do that synchronization thing. Yeah, the white guy looking at his dog, and then he looking at the street light, what have you. And I'm just like, you know, listen, I figured out y'all program, right? And a lot of shit doesn't work anymore. Okay, and as a TI, you got to remember. This is a one into all TIs. You got to remember that when people see that you're growing, when people see that you're particularly if you're in a targeted community, and you are a target, you're a target individual. The perps around you don't want you to grow. They don't want you to grow and do things that are uh, helpful to yourself as well as the people around you. Though your circle may be small, but still, for example, if you have children, being a good parent, doing what you need to do, you know, to whatever capacity you can of doing things for your children and being there for your children. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. This is why they cause a lot of issue between, like with my example, between me and Pam. A lot of issues arrive because, again, it's how they're using her to target me, to try to get me angry, right? So that way I will, you know, not, not see my kids, because that's what they want. That's what they want. This is, they put out false narrative, and then they try to condition you into that false narrative, right? So you got to you got to be aware of that, right? Because ultimately, that's what they do. They're trying to change you into who they say you are, in order to get others to participate in the crime being committed against you. Right? So even though I might be mad with Pam or what have you, everybody gets mad. But the one thing I always tell her, I said, you know what? I said to her, I said, I'll always tell you the truth. I won't lie to you about the situation because, I don't believe in that BS. Right? The lies we've been taught, the lies we've been continues to be taught, the lies that's out there. You know, this society is based on lies. Which is lies, oppression of certain groups of people, manipulation of people minds and their surrounding, their livelihood. So these things. And so when I so I started. So she started talking to me, right? Because remember, spoke to this morning now. Okay. After, like I said, I got the kids ready for school. I was going to take Ethan to the bus stop to have him get on the bus, and she's like, "No, I get it." And of course, we probably got to school late. So I just went to ask Ethan what time did he get to the class this morning, and of course, he got to class at 8:20. Now his class starts at 8 o'clock. Okay, at 8 o'clock. Had she let me take him to the bus stop, he would have gotten to school on time. All right, and I pick him up after. I'm on the phone with him. Hey, make sure that you're safe. Text me when you get into the school, or what have you. Okay. But of course, he got to school late again. But again, I can't argue with her about that situation because she take offense to it. Like I said, they've been conditioned that anything that I say, anything that comes out of my mouth, they're not supposed to listen. I'm talking about Pam, my sister, my nieces and nephews, right? What they have been doing in our community, and we see the residual effect of this over decades and decades of them conditioning us, black men and black women, and our children. Okay, and the vast majority of black people in America is their outcomes are negative, and they use religion on the few that may have positive outcome to say that they're chosen, right? So what does that do? It creates a narcissistic mentality, a personality, to make people think that they're better than others, right? Because they might be more successful. It doesn't mean that you're better, particularly as a black person. It doesn't mean that you're better. It means that you are participating in a society with blinders on, because you want to talk about issues that black people deal with. You want to blame other black people for their negative outcome because you're fortunate or you're lucky enough. All right, it isn't you're chosen by God. All right, it's just by chance that you just happen, right? Because there's so many people that have so many black people that have master's degree and not working at or working in another field or what have you because they couldn't get a job in their field, right? So you're just fortunate. Okay, but it's the religious ideology that makes people think that they're better than other people, that they're more special than other people. And this is what's happening. This is why within our black community there is no group mentality. It was an extreme individualistic mentality, right? As TIs, they condition us that way also. Where if we talk about our target and the next person, the next TI, think that their targeting is worse than the other person, because the other person may not get, we won't know monitoring, or they get gang stalking. That other TI may not even understand what's happening psychologically to them. They just see the harassment, the physical harassment, right? So it doesn't, what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful, and like I said, in understanding how being in this program, how it creates certain personalities within us. Okay, so anyway, so then after I reached the building, you start hearing the fire trucks, right? So it's funny because, like I said, they've been using the fire trucks, and as soon as I take up my phone to record, they stop. So again, we know who the criminals are, all right? They'll try to project it onto us, their criminality onto us, their narcissism onto us, right? but it's not going to work. Always remember, I always say this to yourself, right? I'm rubber, they're glue. Whatever they throw at me, bounce off of me and sticks to them. Remember that. Okay? I'll talk to you guys in the next video.